Buenas noches, mi gente. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Bienvenidos a este canal que se llama Seriele. Mi nombre es Alba Mar. Me pueden decir Alba. Estamos aquí para hablar de libros, algunos en español. Good evening, everyone. I'm back. Welcome to the channel, Seriela. My name is Alba Mar. You can call me Alba. We're here to talk about books, and let's get started because March is going to be a heavy one. Now, let's start off with the different activities that are on BookTube. Starting off with the March of the Mammoths. And I have to bring back, it's still ongoing, At Canaan's Edge. It will be tackled this month. I have no doubt about that. And if I can tackle tome number 1 of the series of At Canaan's Edge by Taylor Branch, I will go back and do that. Don Quixote is still also happening. And then Steve Donahue has challenged all of us who have never read Pride and Prejudice to do so. So here is my used copy of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, and I'll be getting to that during March. There's a buddy read. I hope it's still up. I will contact the people that are going to be involved in this buddy read at Read So Lit, some of the members there. Just Mercy, I'm finally getting to Just Mercy by Brian Stevenson. I'm really looking forward to reading this book. Then there's March Mystery Madness. And for March Mystery Madness, I was going to try to tackle The Name of the Rose. But I figure, are there any Puerto Rican authors who've done mysteries? And I looked it up, I did my research, and I found this one by Luis Lopez Nieves, El Corazón de Voltaire. And I'll let you know, it's my first time reading a mystery by a Puerto Rican author. Luis Lopez Nieves has done another book called Seba, which was very controversial. I hope to read that one too. But you guys know that I tend to read before BookTube according to the calendar. And March is a very event-laden month for Puerto Rican history. All the red right there are events in Puerto Rican history in March. Among those events, March 1st, that's why I'm filming this today and not tomorrow because it's March 1st, was the attack on Congress in March 1st of 1954. I will put some links below so that you can have some background and some historical context on that. There are videos on YouTube in English, short news reports in English, and also extended interviews with one of the nationalists involved in that shooting, Don Rafael Cancel Miranda, who is still living, and that's in Spanish. So I will link those below. March is also Women's Month, and I'll be going to a march on the 8th. So I figured I would combine those two events and read up on nationalist heroines, Puerto Rican women, history forgot, from the 1930s to the 1950s. This is written by Olga Jimenez de Wagenheim. Olga Jimenez de Wagenheim is the historian who wrote the definitive history of El Grito de Lares, which was the first revolutionary attempt in 1868 in Lares, Puerto Rico. She has been a professor at, I think, a university in New Jersey, one of the renowned ones. I'll let you know after I finish reading the book. This includes one of the nationalists involved in the attack on Congress, which was Lolita Lebrón. She has since passed, and I will certainly read that part of the book, at least. Then another nationalist woman, you saw this book before, Julia de Burgos, Poeta Maldita, which means Julia de Burgos, cursed poet. And this was written by another poet, Jose Manuel Torres Santiago, who has since passed away also. And in the past, Julia de Burgos was sort of a myth, and a lot of her personal history was glossed over. And for example, I had no idea of some of the major incidents in her life, but this book is fantastic, and we'll be talking about Julia de Burgos and her life later on in March, with some new discoveries made by the author of this book that I read already. Vivian Ofant Vasquez has done some research on recent discoveries made in, for example, the FBI files on Julia de Burgos. Some very interesting information. And then, did you know that on March 2nd was when U.S. citizenship was given to Puerto Ricans? Yes. Yeah. Our second-rate citizenship was granted despite unanimous refusal to accept the citizenship on the part of our only representative body at the time, La Cámara de Delegados, did not want citizenship. But Congress gave it anyway. And I'll be reading, in honor of that citizenship, I'll be reading Reconsidering the Insular Cases. I have another book about the insular cases. The Insular Cases and the Emergence of American Empire by Bartholomew H. Sparrow. And I had wanted to read this one, but this book includes articles by a number of Puerto Rican experts on law, especially, all over the spectrum. And right there again, who do you think is here? And I'm going to read this one for sure. Juan R. Torruella, the judge who is sitting right now, this moment, at the First District Court of Appeals in Boston, and the one who tried Monseñor Antulio Parrilla in that civil disobedience case in Vieques. So yeah, this one is called The Insular Cases, a Declaration of Their Bankruptcy and My Harvard Pronouncement. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. Yeah. And then there's the Irish Readathon. And in honor of everything that's happened as far as nationalism is concerned during the month of March, including the massacre of Ponce in 1937, I'm going to be reading Rise, de Valera, Rise, about the Irish leader. I don't know if the book is good or not. I will link the title and the author down below. But I know that Pedro Albizu Campo, who was the president of the Nationalist Party of Puerto Rico, got to meet him in one of his tours of the United States when Pedro Albizu Campo was a student at Harvard. So, yeah, I wanted to read a little bit more about that and learn a little bit more about Irish history. So, basically, that's all there is for March. I think that's enough. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope this one goes through without any editing flaws. I think it might. Wish me luck, people. Cuídense mucho. Nos vemos pronto. Adiós.